Hello and welcome to a Tapobu video. Today I'm watching No Spanx, who's on rammus. I'm lagging a little bit, which is kind of a norm for this computer. I'm looking into getting a new one. I actually finally have money. My old computer broke down, probably back in September, and I didn't have any money, so I got a very cheap one.
Welcome to Summoner's
And so naturally there's always lag. It was basically, I mean the processor's decent, like 1750 or something, I don't know. And the RAM's decent, but the graphics is terrible. I'm looking at getting something better. If you know of any good computers that are, you know, probably under $600, feel free to link any, and I would love to
30 seconds until minions spawn.
look into it. But I just don't know anything about modern computers, you know. All this dual core stuff, I have no idea what it even means. So yeah, if you can link a, you know, a computer that could play this at 30 FPS, you know, and could actually install a video card on it, that would be great, because my current computer doesn't have a spot for video cards or sound cards or anything. So I actually run a sound card out of a USB port. You can't do that for video though, because USB is kind of a slow connection. So yeah, if you know of any good computers, let me know. I would absolutely love to get a new one. I just need to be able to convince myself that I can afford it. So anyway, here's Rammus Jungle. No Spanx. He started with W, which is of course what you always want to do on Rammus. Don't let anyone trick you into using something else to invade. I mean, if somebody invades you, alright, take Q, or take, probably Q is the best for counter invade, just because E is only a taunt on one person, whereas Q is knocking up everyone around you, and that's extremely useful. It's interesting that he's taking red first, rather than blue. I always found Rammus to be a high mana use champion early on, but it's very interesting. I like to take blue first just because I can spam a little bit more then. I'm concerned about this bottom lane. From looks of things, No Spanx was telling me that these two, I guess, played last game together and were arguing and weren't happy. And so, seeing as how both picks are not terribly strong right now and Sivir has teleport, I'm concerned. Sivir with teleport was very popular Season 1. Like, mid laner, top lane, Sivir with teleport. That's awesome. Olaf just got first blood. I told No Spanx if anyone's going to carry this, it's going to be Olaf. Because Olaf can cut through the Aurelius Suns, cut through this Thresh CC, and go straight for Caitlyn or Lux, leaving Rammus to deal with anyone trying to get onto Sivir. I'm not too surprised that Sivir got pulled, because you know, everyone's gonna get pulled by Thresh eventually, no matter how good you are. Otherwise, he'd be a terrible pick, you know. That pull is basically a Blitzcrank and a Skarner combined, sort of. Oh my goodness, he went up? Oh wow, that's beautiful. Like, yeah, this round, I was talking to him a bit before the game, and I told him, yeah, you've got to help top a lot because they're gonna win it. So now that top is obviously winning, the best thing they can do is their jungler. Yeah, their jungler died. Okay. The best thing that they can do is get top, you know, leave top alone, let him win it. And, you know, Olaf can get out of anything, and an Irelia Gangplank gank really isn't that big a deal. Basically, Irelia, if she can get started up, she's scary late game, but it takes so long to get there. Sivir's kind of the same way, though, so, yeah, the longer Irelia waits to get... Oh, if he hadn't hit that, something could happen here. I mean, it still could happen, because the Thresh was... Oh, he got caught, though. Oh, and someone else got caught. Oh, that's awkward. But yeah, now he's in way too deep. Oh, she has to actually flash. That's a very good gank, then. I'm a little bit quieter than I am tonight. I'm not feeling the best. But, it's alright. I enjoy doing videos. So here comes Rammus for another gank. It looks like Nami has gone back, but... it's dumb to dive that. Yeah, good plan. I'm impressed by this guy's ability to jungle. When he started playing Fiddlesticks, I was like, you're making a lot of silly mistakes. But now, you know, I really respect him as a jungler. I mean, I've seen obvious improvement, and that's good. You know, my own jungle, I feel, has gone downhill since I started playing. I'm not as good at it anymore, and I've kind of stopped jungling. There is a reason I've stopped jungling, but I'm not going to go into that now. Maybe not for a while, but I like to see improvement in players, and I like it that when I write guides and make videos, the players watching them are often better than I am, and they're often even if they aren't better than I am, they have the capacity to get better than I am, and that's really cool, you know. It's good to know that you know, even somewhat poor players who are able to think about the game can help people become better even when they're not capable of becoming better themselves. Although I have improved. I have started playing quite a bit again. By quite a bit, I mean a couple games a week as support, and I'm able to deal with supporting a lot better than jungling right now, and so that's good. I'm starting to really understand the dynamic of the lane down here, and what works and what doesn't, and I'm able to trick people into underestimating me by my champion choices, like I play Gangplank support a lot. People think it's very weak. I often bait them into getting killed. I was playing against a plat level player the other day as Gangplank support, and I immediately realized, oh, they're very good when, you know, he got a first blood on me. I almost always give first blood when I end up dying on bottom lane. It's almost, you know, I'm the first one to die because something catches me off guard. But after I understand how they're playing, you know, I'm able to figure out how to beat them. You know, I often give a first blood and then I come back and at level 6 it's just destruction. This is bad. Oh, that was good. That was very fortunate. I don't want them to start raging. I don't want Sivir and Nami to start raging. Anyway, yeah, I often give first blood. Not as often as I used to, but after I make that one mistake, I don't do it again. Like in that game, I actually, because one of them was a platinum level player, I ended up dying 3 times. But oh, that's bad. That's very bad. That's the sort of thing that turns around a lane in a bad way. Yeah, now red team is winning a bit, and Aurelia just got a kills, and Olaf is losing farm. That's not good. Anyway, yeah, I kept playing this game, and finally I'd baited these high-level players into thinking that I'm not a good player. And sure enough, every time I did something that seemed like a bad choice, they were right there bouncing all over me. And so it was a Fizz Jarvan versus I was Gangplank and it was Caitlyn. You know, they'd try and jump in and CC me, and immediately I'd be walking out, healing myself up, and they get caught, and they got caught again and again and again. You know, I used my weakness as a player, my relative lack of skill compared to theirs, to wonderful, wonderful effect, and managed to beat them a lot. And the more I beat them, the more they got angry, because they were trolling me in all chat. They were like saying, was it worth it, when I died in dumb ways. And so of course I was able to turn around and say, was it worth it, over and over again, like probably 10 times in a row they died, you know. So Fizz went from, like, you know, 2-0 to 2-6, just because he thought I was a bad player, and he was right. But I knew how to use that to my advantage. Isn't that interesting? I mean, it doesn't always work. It was a normal game. I wouldn't have done that in ranked game. I would have played a lot smarter. You know, in normal games I try different things. I screw around a bit. But, you know, nothing is ever as it seems in this game. ELO doesn't tell the whole story. I'm a player. Wow, that was a good taunt. I'm a player who knows a lot about the game, but isn't always able to put it into great effect because of the way my mind works. And so, when I am able to, you know, when I'm on top of my game, when I'm feeling well and I play, I'm able to do some pretty awesome things. Oh, there's the Gangplank ulti. Ah, awesome. Diana got the kill, which is very good. because Diana is one of those that roams very, very well. Here comes Lux. There goes a triple kill bottom lane. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. Lux finally did shut someone down. She might get Rammus, but in the process she's going to die, and that's... Oh wow, she didn't even get Rammus. He leveled up with the kill. That was... Oh no, it was Diana it was Nami that died. Interesting. Where's Rammus then? Oh, he went back. Wow, yeah, right there is a testament to just how terribly tired I am right now. But Olaf is doing decently. He's... I mean, Aurelia hurts, but he's keeping her low, and so she's kind of afraid of him. Like, even though she's higher health than him and probably more capable to kill him than he is to kill her, she's terribly afraid of him because of the skill he's shown early game. You know, when someone takes Aurelia top lane anymore, it's because they believe that they have the capacity to survive against someone long enough to allow them to get very strong and then kill them. And when someone actually manages to kill an Aurelia early game anymore, if it's a decent player, as this one seems to be, they get very scared. They're like, oh no, this is someone I can't beat. And they ask for ganks, and ganks, and ganks, and so that's how, you know, if an Aurelia is scared of you, you can almost bet that there's a gank going to come. It's very interesting how people who play different champions work. Their intellect works in different ways. And Aurelia is one of those that's very confident of their late game ability, but they know how weak they are early game. And if someone beats them early game, it really shakes them. It's like, you know, maybe I can't pull this off. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna need a lot of help to be able to get this. Here comes Gangplank with the what is it called? Ghost. Wow, I'm an idiot. But yeah, there goes Gangplank running after him, trying to tower dive and everything, and suddenly he's very scared. Because, you know, he doesn't have that power. And if he dies, Aurelia knows very well that bad things are going to happen. You know, if Olaf gets more fed. And here comes Diana up, but they've seen it coming. This is a very interesting top lane dynamic. They're two decently good players, or, you know, evenly skilled players. That are both able to understand each other very well. Oh, Diana versus Lux. It's... Oh my. If Diana dies here to Aurelia, that could be very, very bad. Oh my. How is this farm? The farm, let's see. Olaf to Aurelia is 20 difference. Caitlyn has 20 more than Sivir, but Sivir has 2 kills and 3 assists. There goes a tower. I'm watching the CS very carefully because, okay, and Lux is 80, Diana's 85. So really the big difference is in one tower and the kills. I've been watching kills more carefully because I want to see exactly how much gold you get from high kill games. And it would seem as though you get quite a bit. Like, Olaf is a bit behind her. Oh, he's a bit ahead of Aurelia. Holy cow. That's how good the farm is there. Or maybe he has... he has 2 kills on her, 2 kills, so... Yeah, the 20 farm has done that much for him. But her second kill there was worth quite a bit. And she... You know, Aurelia is one of those that can freeze the lane and farm incredibly well under turret. And once she reaches a certain point, it's very hard to secure the kill on her. The one advantage Olaf has is that he can't get, you know, stun locked by Aurelia when she's lower health than him. Like, that was a little bit of a premature Nami ulti, and it looks like it could... Oh my, she got out of it. Yeah, my terrible FPS is really hurting me now. Sivir got a killing spree. She lost it to Thresh, which means, basically, you know, Caitlyn doesn't get that gold. And if Rammus manages to get Kate here, which he might actually be able to do, here comes Diana. Oh, that's beautiful. He's gonna die, but Diana is... Oh, he isn't gonna... Holy cow, Nami, you're beautiful for coming in there right there. Oh my goodness, that's some impressive plays. Like, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. I don't have the words to describe how awesome that was right now. Normally I have something to say all the time, not always something of worth, but something. I'm short on words right now. I've run out. It happens every once in a while. That's usually when I write, because I shouldn't be making videos when I can't speak. But Here I am making a video. Anyway, Olaf is terribly, dangerously low, but he knew that he had that ulti, which allows him safety. And Aurelia, you know, she doesn't have the, she has a little bit of anti-CC, but Olaf should have committed more because, you know, he can heal so fast. But now, Rammus is in a world of trouble. Oh boy. Yeah, oh my, Diana's coming up here to save. Yeah, see, Aurelia has a bit of an ego because she's an Aurelia player. Oh my goodness, that was a brilliant ulti. But Diana might come out as a big winner here if she can manage to get a second kill or a third. Yeah, the GTFO, Aurelia is like trying to, she's been nervous and she doesn't like feeling like someone's better than her. And so the GTFO is kind of a bit of a defense mechanism, is saying, see, I'm not that bad even though I lost early game. You know what I mean? Here, look at how, oh my goodness, the Nami support there is just brilliant. I bought Nami a while ago because I thought she has some real potential, but I haven't had the patience to learn her yet. She's a high skill cap, but I am very impressed by this Nami player so far. I want to see Nami in more higher level gameplay. Oh yeah, get the Lux because she doesn't have the HP. Oh, there comes the Nami ulti. That's brilliant. Look at how long range it is. Like, it just keeps going and keeps going. It's like a very long range Janna Q with very large width. I like it a lot. This is a champion that I really want to learn. See, I kept getting confused because I kept trying to cast Tidecaller's Blessing on other people. I didn't necessarily see it as a defensive thing, and so I screwed up a lot when I was playing here. But if I can associate it with Janna's shield, that would be better. It takes a while for me to learn new things. That's all.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
There's
Red team has slain the dragon.
Red team got the dragon while they were all top, but there are 3 turrets down now, so blue team has a lot of control on them. I've been noticing just how wonderful they're getting all the turrets down is. Like, that's, I distinctly remember a game, oh my goodness, that was a brilliant purple. A game from mid to late season 2 where, yeah, Nami doesn't want to go back in there now. Mid to late season 2 where a North American or U team had gotten all the turrets down very quickly, but they had no idea how to follow up on it. Brilliant Silver teleport, and they didn't know how to follow up on it. But the Koreans, when they came in, they were able to pursue that strategy, and the Americans and Europeans thought it's not going to be that big a problem because we did that, and it backfired. You know, they took down all the turrets, and suddenly the other team was able to farm. But the Koreans played it differently. They, you know, one turret would fall, and then that lane would go and pressure another lane until it fell, and then it snowballed, and they get dragons and stuff, and American and Europeans didn't know how to deal with it. That incredible amount of aggressiveness early game, you know, they didn't really have that transitionary period, you know, after the towers fall and before the team fights. They forced the team fights. You know, you had to defend wherever they were. You couldn't just sit and farm in your respective lanes because suddenly the entire enemy was mid lane or whatever. And that, it really changed the way the game has been played, and I like it a lot. Olaf needs to commit more to his attacks, just, you know, the vicious strikes. He needs to save vicious until he gets lower, and then suddenly go in there and just wreck with that heal. If he gets the Vamp Scepter, it'll be perfect. But anyway, the Korean meta is just, it's so fascinating to me. The Americans still haven't been able to adapt that much fluidity, you know, like, they aren't able to adapt to things as quickly, and it's very fascinating. And I haven't been able to figure out why the Koreans are on top of this. Like, the Americans practice for so many hours too, you know. It's not like the Europeans try harder or study harder or anything. It has to do with how they're studying, what they're thinking about. And I want to know what it is that they're thinking about.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And when I say Koreans, of course, I mean the pro teams, not to specify all Koreans in general. But like the pro teams, they have a different way of coming about it, and I don't understand what that way is yet. And I'm not sure any of the American or European teams do. But it's quite possibly that a different way of looking at the game, looking at the world, is what allows them to now be on the edge of strategy, even though they were the last area to get the game. You know, when they came out in DreamHack, you know, the Chinese and Korean teams were quite terrible. But even then, they were able to surprise us a bit. Like, I distinctly remember a Mordekaiser pick that just wrecked Team Solo Mid. I think it was Team Solo Mid. Like, everyone thought, oh, Mordekaiser's a tank. He's kind of a worthless tank, though, because he doesn't have any CC. And here comes Korea whipping him out as an AP carry. And nobody knew how to deal with it. Like, I don't know, you know, what it is that causes these things to suddenly leap up and be overpowered, like the fast game. You know, it's like America focuses on their dragon so much, but that came from Europe. The dragon meta, I guess, started I think after DreamHack Season 1, if I'm right. Talk to me about this. Tell me what you've noticed from the meta changes and how the players think about it. Of course, the meta change that has interested me most, of course, was way back in the AD carry meta change. Because previous to DreamHack, I was slowly discovering for myself that not getting CS was really useful on Janna. Like, I'd play Janna bot lane, I'd say, come on, come bottom with me, you know, you're gonna get all the CS. The reason people didn't like to play bottom lane is because they had to split CS with someone else. And, you know, two people going for the same CS really messed up the CS, and it screwed it up, and a lot of people, you know, a lot of CS was missed because of it. And so I just say, no, I will let you get every single CS, and they were like, you can't be serious. And I said, yeah, you get all the CS. And, you know, other teams would call me noob because I had no CS at the end of the game. But then we'd win. We'd win, and I'd have like 16, 20 assists and almost a full item build. And then, sure enough, it showed up at DreamHack with slight changes. Instead of a tanky DPS bottom lane, it was an AD carry. And it was the Europeans that brought that in, and I'm not sure what exactly caused them to want to start playing it like that. You know, these things begin somewhere with one or two people, and they spread like wildfire. You know, a meta doesn't take over a server overnight, unless it's played in a tournament. But how does it get to the tournament? That's really interesting. You know, this like recently in the tournaments, it's been the purple team's AD carry and support is allowed to go top lane or mid lane or basically wherever they want, because they want to be able to pressure out another lane. It doesn't work in solo queue because you're not communicating well with the 1v2 lane, and he can't always handle it. You know, it works well in pre-mates because everyone's in communication. The jungler and top lane or jungler and mid lane can coordinate some really impressive stuff. But like just the entropy that has begun as the Koreans were brought in is so terribly fascinating. Entropy being, you know, the gradual increasing of chaos of the universe. Entropy within League of Legends, of course, you know, if AD carry plus support is bottom lane both sides, you know, there's very little room for error. You know, someone's talking. You know, one AD carry gets ahead, that's it. That, you know. Right, you know, suddenly the AD carry's top lane and both AD carries are free farming. Suddenly you're going into mid game, late game, and the AD carries haven't even seen each other yet. They don't know how strong they are in comparison yet. That they haven't traded hits. More entropy. You know, you start trading hits and suddenly you realize, oh, I'm stronger than him or he's stronger than me. You know, you see their items, and in theory you can say, oh, I'm stronger. But say a Tristana with the same items as you might be significantly stronger than you if she's leveled up her Q first. You know what I mean? It's just the transitions between different lanes and everything. It adds so much chaos to the game. and it's incredibly fascinating. There was a game in LCS just, I think, 2 weeks ago. TSM versus CLG. It was the most absolutely fascinating game I've ever seen. Like the mid lane and top lane, CLG was trying so terribly hard to counter Dyrus and Reginald. And they were trying to counter Reginald on Diana. And Dyrus and Reggie just kept switching lanes, and it was so wonderfully fluid, you know. It was almost like a dance, you know, like a ballet. These teams, you know, 15 to 18 minutes into the game, they finally get a first blood on Reginald. Like, it's so rare, and it's so fascinating when teams are so in sync with each other. And you're just sitting by waiting for everything to blow up, because, you know, if there's not a first blood yet, nobody knows who's stronger. Neither team knows that they're better or worse than the other. I should reply to this guy. Yeah, I actually don't mind talking to people who add me in the game. I won't often play games with the people who add me, but I'm perfectly okay with talking. I actually enjoy it, you know, getting different points of view on things. So, you know, that's why I kind of add everyone. It helps that I'm not terribly famous. You know, I get 2 or 3 ads every week or so, and that's cool. So, I mean, never be afraid to talk to me. But if you're not interesting, I'll get bored with you very fast. If I talk to you repeatedly, that means I find you interesting in some way. And so, as you're probably learning quite a bit about me just by watching this, if you are making it this far into the game. It's very rare that you'll catch me in a very reflective mood like this, where I'm more interested in things outside the game than I am with things in the game. Because normally I go to the game, you know, play League of Legends, so I don't think about other things. So yeah, I see I'm not not commenting on the game at all, but just talking is good enough. Oh, another like beautiful Nami. Oh, like that. I am so fascinated by Fish Girl right now. Like, I want to get good at this champion after watching this Kingpen play. I hope that he and Sivir add each other, because they're working so well together despite apparently having raged at each other last game. No comment on the other team. Well, okay, Gangplank. I tried him in the jungle the other day. He's not as effective in the jungle as he is in other areas, because he doesn't have that CC, he doesn't have the peel, you know. There's nothing Gangplank can do to get to Sivir to get her off anyone. You know, she can just spell shield his Q and get away. There's nothing he can really do to get Diana off of Lux or off of Caitlyn. There's absolutely nothing anyone can do to get Olaf off, so that's a wasted effort. You might as well not even, you know, not even bother. You just, Caitlyn better stay clear of him until his ulti's down. But look at him, look at Olaf, look at his build right now. He doesn't have a single damage item, and he's doing wonderfully. He probably has some of them.
Rampage.
He has decent damage. Oh my, Diana's 1v1ing. Like, and here goes Baron, and you know, whenever Baron is attempted, you know, the potential for unexpected things to happen just skyrockets, because I mean, Baron's easy enough for a team to solo. You can solo him at 15 minutes if you get everyone there. I mean, I misused the word solo. I mean, your team can take him at 15 minutes, but you know, when other people start to challenge it, you know, if they challenge it in the correct way, even if they're way behind, you know, things can go terribly wrong so quickly. Like things like Baron and Dragon and tower diving and everything, they just add so much potential chaos to a game. You know, two very good teams can you know, one can throw or the other can throw, just based on seemingly random events that are entirely unexpected. You know, every team understands in theory that doing Baron while the other team is up is dangerous. In practice, you know, sometimes it gets it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But you still try it even though it's dangerous, because you think maybe I can beat the randomness. I can beat the chance of being destroyed. you know, I tell my team to run for Baron after they get an ace instead of running for towers because I don't like entropy. I don't like dealing with randomness and chance. I like sure things. I have a very mathematical mind, and probabilities drive me crazy. You know, I run probabilities in my head, you know, when a game begins, like what are the odds of us winning, what are the odds of us losing. At the start of this game, I'm guessing it would have been about 60% chance of blue team winning. You know, it's never really above like 65% because of entropy. You know, anything can happen. I gave this one about a 60% just because, you know, Olaf can do so much, and they can't peel. You know, it's all about getting the AD carry right now, and if Olaf understands that, which of course he does, then he's going to do well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the utterly random nature of this commentate that had very little to actually do with the game. Thank you for watching.